Alright, let's talk about bad breakups. We've all been there. But imagine your breakup is with your entire country. Imagine you lose so badly that your whole way of life, your economy, your national flag, basically your entire vibe, gets deleted from the server. That's the mood in the American South, circa 1865. The Civil War is over. The Confederacy got absolutely, unequivocally wrecked. So what do you do when your world ends? Do you suck it up, learn the new rules, maybe buy a US flag to use as a coaster? Or do you pack your bags, grab your weirdest cousin, and move to the one place on earth that still kind of gets you, the literal empire of Brazil? Yeah, you heard me. For thousands of defeated Confederates, the answer was Brazil. They rage-quit America and started a new life in the tropics. They're called the Confederados, and their story is one of history's most bizarre and forgotten side quests. It's a tale of stubbornness, watermelons, and a ghost that speaks with a southern accent in the middle of a Brazilian jungle. Welcome to Echoes of the Fallen, where we dig up history's most fascinating failures. Buckle up for today's episode about the Confederados, the Civil War losers who traded Dixie for Brazil's jungles, chasing a dream that was, well, let's just say ambitious. To put it mildly, the South was not having a good time after the war. Their cities were rubble, their money was worthless, and their whole social structure, built on the horrific foundation of slavery, had been shattered. Now, their old enemies were in charge. It was the political equivalent of your ex moving into your apartment and changing all the Wi-Fi passwords. Unsurprisingly, a lot of folks weren't keen on sticking around. For the die-hard believers in the lost cause, living under a Yankee government was a fate worse than, well, just about anything. They were proud, they were bitter, and they were broke. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away, Emperor Dom Pedro II of Brazil is doom-scrolling through the international news and has a lightbulb moment. His country needs a serious glow-up in its farming game, especially cotton. And who just lost their jobs but have world's best cotton grower on their resumes? Defeated Confederates. Plus, and this is a big plus for the Confederates, Brazil still had slavery. It was one of the last holdouts in the West. So, the emperor basically sends out a recruitment ad, tired of losing. Hate this whole emancipation thing? Come to beautiful, sunny Brazil. We've got cheap land, low taxes, and a social climate you'll find familiar. And people actually went for it. Between 10 and 20,000 Southerners packed up their banjos and their biscuits and sailed south. They weren't just moving, they were trying to outrun history itself, hoping to find a place where the 1860s never had to end. Of course, the sales pitch left out a few details. Like the language barrier, the Catholicism, and the fact that the jungle wants to kill you with bugs the size of your thumb. The tropical paradise turned out to be a lot more work than they expected. Many gave up and sailed back to the US with their tail between their legs. But a stubborn group led by a fella named Colonel William Norris pushed inland and founded a town. And in a stunning feat of creative genius, they named this town Americana. I'm not kidding. It's like they wanted to make sure the mailman never got confused. But here's the thing, they were actually good at the farming part. The locals were using these heavy, inefficient plows. The Confederados roll in with their lightweight American steel plow, and it's a total game changer. They start planting high-quality cotton, and they introduce a little something you might have heard of, the watermelon. Yes, the Confederados brought watermelons to the party. To this day, Americana is famous for it. So they built their own little pocket of the Old South, with Baptist churches, English-speaking schools, and probably a shocking amount of sweet tea. They were no longer Americans, not yet Brazilians, just a weird, watermelon farming island of southern fried culture. Fast forward to today, and the ghost of the Confederacy is alive and well at the world's most confusing festival. It's called the Festa Confederada. Once a year, the descendants get together, dress up like extras from Gone with the Wind, and have a massive party. It is a sensory roller coaster. You've got Southern belles dancing to folk music, the smell of fried chicken mixing with Brazilian barbecue, and the Confederate battle flag everywhere. On everything. Waved next to the Brazilian flag. It's like a historical reenactment party crashed a carnival, and they decided to just roll with it. And this is where it gets complicated. For the descendants, they'll tell you the flag isn't about racism. It's about heritage. It's a tribute to their tough-as-nails ancestors who built a life from scratch. It's about remembering their crazy ancestors who decided the best way to deal with a problem was to move 4,000 miles away from it. But you can't just hit copy and paste on a symbol and not expect the original file to be attached. Back in the US, that flag is a red-hot symbol of slavery and racial hatred. So seeing it flown so casually in Brazil is jarring, to say the least. It's a perfect example of how an echo of history can mean one thing in one place, and something terrifyingly different in another. Over time, the Confederados did what all immigrant groups do, they blended in. Their kids learned Portuguese, married locals, and became Brazilian. Now, you'll meet Brazilians with names like Jimmy Carter, I swear, that's a real thing, who are descendants of these original settlers. The little southern bubble eventually popped. The story of the Confederados is a reminder that history is a messy, awkward, and sometimes downright weird road trip. It shows that when you try to run from your past, you usually just end up unpacking it somewhere new, with better food and more interesting music. They lost a war but created a legacy that is part Southern grit, part Brazilian spirit, and 100% confusing to explain at parties. So, what's the weirdest piece of history you've ever stumbled upon? Let us know in the comments. And if you want to dive down more of history's strangest rabbit holes with us, do us a favor and smash that subscribe button for more echoes of the fallen. Stay curious, y'all.